This is He Knows His Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. All right. Y'all asked me to make a video in regards to Canelo versus Jacobs, but I'm going to do like a combo video. I'm going to talk about Canelo versus Jacobs, and I'm also going to talk about Triple G versus possibly Andrade or Demetrius BooBoo Andrade. So here's my take on it. I feel like Canelo is basically the person that possibly can win that fight. But I feel like it's a very close fight. I got this fight 51-49 in Canelo's favor. And I'm going to tell you why. I feel that I saw some things in the Jacobs versus the Triple G fight that showed me that Danny Jacobs is a very good fighter. And I'm not taking nothing away from him. The man is very athletic. You know what I'm saying? I won't say he's the most fundamentally sound or the most technically sound boxer, but he does everything pretty good. He knows how to set up his shots. You know, he throws a lot of shots to set up his power punches so that he can go for the knockout. I mean, case in point, you saw that in the Peter Quillin fight. You know what I'm saying? He was setting up his combinations up until the point where when it was time for him to unleash, he was able to knock Peter Quillin out. Even though it happened fast, there was a few setups that position him to be that way. And a lot of that has to do with his athleticism and his God-given ability to just be able to move around the ring and be a physical specimen. So you got to give, Jacobs credit for that, and hats off to him for that. I mean, his athleticism is his very most strong suit going into any fight. But my feeling on it is mentally. I saw some things in that Triple G fight where mentally he could have stepped completely on the gas and really dictate that fight and really win and really won the fight. But he didn't do everything that he was supposed to, in the trenches. And that could be a coaching issue, or that could just be a mental stamina issue. I feel it's a combination of both. That's just my honest opinion on it. I'm not taking nothing away from his coach. His coach is a very respected coach in boxing, but my personal assessment, my personal opinion, I felt that if he had a more credible, a more credible voice that was in his ear, like a la Virgil Hunter, I think that could have really positioned him and put him over the top. That's just my honest opinion, because I felt like he was doing some things to Triple G to nullify the fact that, like I said, Triple G has issues with the ability to not move his head, and he could be a little flat-footed. And, Jacob's athleticism was overwhelming Triple G in that fight. And he had his moments, but there was also moments where Triple G was able to land those big power shots that he normally lands on cats. And there was moments where Triple G was able to kind of be the aggressor in that fight. And I felt like Jacobs was playing defensive a lot in that fight, and that's why he didn't win. And the reason why I brought that fight up is because I feel like it's going to be more of the same, because he has the same team, the same coach. And the thing with fighters, man, after they fight for so many years, they tend to have a certain level of familiarity that you can't, overlook, and you can't, pretty much overcompensate for. And I feel like going into that fight against Canelo's a different animal from Triple G, because Canelo, to me, has every bit the power that Triple G has. But Canelo's slick, man. You guys heard me say this before. He got some black, slick boxer mannerisms in him. It showed, when he fought in the Floyd Mayweather fight. Hopefully, y'all don't come in here and vilify me and say, oh, here you go trying to make it a race thing because you said black, slick boxing mannerisms. I'm just keeping it real, because we the ones that slick, man. When it comes to boxing, us black folks, we the slick ones. We the ones that mastered that thing, created that thing, and authored that thing. So it is what it is. And y'all could take it to the bank. So whatever, you Rudy Poos and your damn plum brains. The point that I'm trying to say is I feel like Canelo, has slickness, man. The boy can box, man. Well, the man can box. I don't disrespect him like that. The man can box. And the thing that I like with Canelo, man, he takes all comers. Now, shout outs to my boy Corey, you know what I'm saying? But there are times where Canelo has ducked opponents. Case in point, Jamal Charlo's been calling him out, but I don't see that, him trying to, chop at the bit to take the fight. But I think Canelo's taking a playbook out of Floyd Mayweather's book. I don't think he's ducking. I just think that he's looked at Floyd Mayweather's playbook and say, you know what? I'm going to steal that. I'm going to just pick these guys at the right time, where they're beat up enough and at the right time so that I can fight against them. That's just my honest opinion. And I don't think there's fear. I just think that, you know, his camp, it's a combination of his camp, Oscar De La Hoya, you know, Bernard Hopkins. These guys are trying to tell him, hey, man, pick the fight at the right times. And really, when you think about it, you know, people don't want to be honest in boxing. They want to sit here and say that these fighters are sitting here and they're ducking and they're doing all this Rudy Poo and plum shit. But really, fighters, they don't really be ducking each other like that. A lot of boxing, it's not always a ducking situation. A lot of it has to do with politics, man. There's a lot of fucking politics in boxing because you're dealing with promoters, you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying, major networks, you know what I'm saying? You're dealing with fucking all of these damn media people. You're dealing with the build up to the fight. You're dealing with the negotiations, you know, fighters saying, hey, I deserve this amount versus you, I deserve that amount. So there's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes that you could see why maybe if a fight that was supposed to happen ends up falling off or something happens where the fight doesn't take place. There's a lot that goes behind the scenes that we're not mindful of and we're not aware of. And we need to be more mindful and aware of these things. So we can't always say the fighter's ducking. A lot of times it's shit that's happening. I mean, shit. Here I am making a past video thinking it was going to be Triple G versus Canelo or Canelo versus Triple G, however you want to flip it, come May 4th. But that fight got fucking, the negotiations got dismantled. You know what I'm saying? You know, that fight got denied. You know, it's not happening. But we all wanted a part 3 to that. But I actually like the fact that the part 3 is not happening so soon. And my take on it, my reason for that is because I feel like, not Canelo, but Triple G, his confidence waned a little bit. That last fight, it was a little bit more definitive of a win in Canelo's favor. That's how I feel, because I felt like Canelo fought Triple G's fight against him, which is basically to be the aggressor and to land the power shots and to stalk your opponent down. And Canelo was doing that versus Triple G in the second half of that fight. And I felt like some of Triple G's confidence has waned. And I think, you know what I'm saying, I'm not in the man's mind and I'm not in the man's body, but I personally believe that he went another route because of that. That's just my honest assessment on it. Y'all could sit here and vilify me. Y'all could say I don't know what the shit I'm talking about, whatever. I'm just giving my honest take and my opinion on it. I feel that his confidence waned a little bit because I felt like Canelo was ready in that fight. Now, a lot of people could say, you know, he was taking that steroid or that enhancer. What the fuck y'all call that shit? The clenbuterol or whatever. Yeah, however y'all pronounce that shit. And one of y'all help me out with that because I don't know how to pronounce that thing. Could be because, you know, it is questionable that, you know, Canelo was shaky with his conditioning in the first fight. And really, I felt Triple G won that first fight because, as you guys know, I got Triple G winning the first fight slightly at 7-5, and I got Canelo winning the second fight 7-5. Could really be the enhancer because in the second fight, all of a sudden, his conditioning was there. So I'm not going to negate and take that away because nowadays, man, these fighters, they be cheating like motherfuckers. So we don't know. That could be very well the case. But I like the fact that they're not running a third one, and I like the fact that, you know, Triple G is actually possibly going to be fighting BooBoo Andrade. Now, Charlo should be should be the one who's more deserving. But the thing with the Charlos, man, they get slapped to the mouth a lot, man. And the thing you got to understand is when you're the B-side, you got to know your role and know your place. I'm going to say that again. When you're the B-side, you have to know your role and know your place because B-sides have to be humble. You know what I'm saying? They got to be mindful that they're getting an opportunity at that magnitude. And when you're getting an opportunity at that magnitude of the sport, you got to higgity fucking hush, dog. That's just me keeping it real. Because when it's all said and done, those opportunities don't come a lot. Now, BooBoo Andrade has not done anything prominent to deserve that opportunity if he is going to be fighting Triple G. But I feel like as of late, I don't know what new team he has around him, but as of late, he's been kind of playing this humble card, which has been beneficial and helpful to him. And I feel like now he's positioning himself to get the right fights because look, you know what I'm saying? Right before the fucking Triple G fight, he had another big fight that, I don't know, somewhere along the lines, that fight ended up getting fucking thrown out the way or to the wayside. You know what I'm saying? Because that other fighter had fucking charges and shit like that. It is what it is, man. But he's starting to get big fights. And I feel like, you know, BooBoo is doing the right things right now. You know, and he's positioning himself. And I feel like BooBoo needs to, I don't even know why I'm calling this man BooBoo. I don't even know why his nickname is BooBoo. It just makes me feel weird calling a man BooBoo. But anyways, Demetrius or Andrade, I'm going to just say that. How about that? You know, Andrade, man, I feel like he's positioning himself the right way and doing what he's supposed to so that he could be right where he needs to be at. And I feel like if Andrade plays his cards right and he continues to do what he's supposed to, man, sky's the limits for him. But do I think he's ready for the challenge right now? I don't know, because he hasn't really had any big step-up fights. He's been fighting a lot of, you know, guys that we really don't know. We got to just keep it real, man. Or a lot of, you know, these mid-tier fighters, man. He hasn't really shown us a step-up fight, you know, of credibility for us to be like, okay, damn, BooBoo won against a big fight. So, damn, well, I just said his name, BooBoo, again. Damn, it's staying in my brain. But Andrade won a credible fight. You know what I'm saying? And now we can sit there and say he's ready for the big time. I don't know, man. Does Andrade got all the skills? Yes. You know, there's a lot of testimony to this boy's skills. You know, the Keith Thurmans of the world has talked about it. You know what I'm saying? The Sean Porters of the world have talked about it. There's been a lot of cats, man, that has mentioned Andrade and the skills that he has. Do I feel that he has the skills to overwhelm Triple G? Yes. And at this stage right now, Triple G is kind of starting to get over the hill because he's 36. So this is actually the right time for Andrade to fight him. You know, he couldn't pick a better situation and a better time. And if I was him, I'll maximize that opportunity. And I'll just go out there and make a statement, man. Because if he beats Triple G, he goes from B side to A side and overnight, man. Now he is the one that could tell the Charlos that's been sitting there running away from him, because I do believe the Charlos have been running away from this cat. That's my honest assessment on that. Y'all could sit here and vilify me, whatever. But I feel the Charlos been running away from him. They've been ducking him for real. Now he can come to the drawing table as the A side. And now the Charlos got no choice but to cater to whatever demands, especially with Jamel Charlo losing. And now with him at 68, basically it's more going to be Jamal. But Jamal's really going to have to cater to his demands. But that's a big if. He has to get first past Triple G for that to happen. But let's see, man. Let's see if Andrade can perform and step up when the bright lights are on, man. Because we have not seen him in bright light situation for us to sit here and say, man, he has this win. There are some good wins on his record, but it's nothing for us to sit here and be like, man, you know what I'm saying? He's ready for the opportunity. If anything, Jamal Charlo is more ready and more deserving of the opportunity if we keeping it real. But I feel like the Charlos need to know how to just be humble right now, man, because their last outings, especially this last outing where they fought together on the same card, they look atrocious. Yeah, Jamal won, but he looked atrocious against a guy who subbed in the last minute. Come on, man. He wasn't even fighting the cat that he was supposed to fight. And look how suspect he looked in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got exposed. That was a close win. He won, but it shouldn't have been that close. He should have got that dude out of there so fast. And it's a no-namer at that. So I don't understand why he didn't get that cat out of there. But that's the stuff I'm talking about. Like, these Charlos, man, they're not what they're cracked up to be. And that's why I get mad when Rudy Poos and Pum Pums try to compare Errol Spence only because Jamel Charlo shares the same trainer as Errol Spence. I got a shout outs to my boy Woodstar TV, man, because he made a video about that where he was exposing Charlo, I believe every bits of every words that come out of Woodstar TV. So shout outs to him again. I feel like Errol Spence been fucking Jamel Charlo up in sparring. I'm gonna say that again. Errol Spence been fucking up Jamel Charlo in sparring. That iron versus iron sharpening stuff, it worked in Errol Spence's favor because, like I told y'all, Errol Spence is a different horse that's carrying a different cart. He can handle that kind of brutality in sparring and still be able to go into these fights and dominate. Every fighter, like I've said, no two fighters are alike in personality, and no two fighters are alike when it comes to skills, and their heart and shit like that. Jamel been getting fucked up, and we've been hearing about these sparring wars, man, where cats get brutalized and they get beat the fuck up in sparring, and they're a shell of themselves and they can't perform when they're under the bright lights. I think Errol Spence been overwhelming his ass in sparring, man, and it's starting to show. It's starting to show. So I figure I'll just go off track and say that real quick, but it's starting to show. And that's why I keep telling y'all cats, don't put Errol Spence in the same breath with a Jamel Charlo or a Jamal Charlo. He's not like those cats. That dude is special. But back to what I was saying. I feel that Danny Jacobs can very well win the fight against Canelo Alvarez. But Danny Jacobs needs to establish his athleticism off rip if he's going to win that fight. And then what Danny Jacobs needs to also do is he needs to dictate the pace. Because the thing with Canelo is Canelo likes to get comfortable, in his mannerisms. You got to make Canelo uncomfortable. That's how you have success against him. And if I'm Danny Jacobs, I go look at, Arislandi Lara, how he fought Canelo, because I felt he was robbed. I'll go watch that fight. That's a good schoolmaster or tutor to how you can effectively beat Canelo. Go look at Floyd Mayweather, his blueprint. You know what I'm saying? When Floyd Mayweather was giving Canelo different looks every time, and he was feinting a lot, and he was just making things so difficult that Canelo couldn't figure it out. I think Canelo still got those deficiencies, and all of these experiences and supposed fights that he's amassed, he still got those deficiencies, and I feel like that's what Danny Jacobs is going to have to do. He's got to do what he does best: use his athleticism and use his combinations, man. And I feel that if he does that, he will be successful that night. And don't sit there and get complacent, because the thing that I noticed with him is when he has marginal success in the fights, he wants to sit there the next round and just chill. You can't do that shit if you're going against a Canelo Alvarez. You should have learned your lesson when you fought Triple G with that shit. That they're not. And see, this is the thing with boxing, because I'm the same way too. I'm not going to give you the win when you're going against the champion and you didn't do more than enough to win. Anytime you're going against a champion, if it's up in the air, you know what I'm saying, and you're trying to figure out who won, usually the champion comes out as the victor. That's not always the case because, just look at the recent Charlo fight. Look how that ended up happening. Look at the Charlo and Harrison fight. Harrison was the victor. So, and Charlo was the champion. And this is Jamel I'm talking about. But Harrison walked away with the belt. That could have gone either way, that fight. I felt that Harrison had the more accurate punches in that fight, but it is what it is. This is what I'm talking about. Danny Jacobs is going to have to do that, man. He's going to have to do more than enough if he's going to win against Canelo Alvarez. But everything is set for it to be in the advantage and in the favor of Canelo Alvarez, because all Canelo Alvarez got to do is go in there and be the dominant boxer he's been, dominant boxer / puncher that he's been these last few fights, man. Just go in there and just establish your respect, establish your power. You know what I'm saying? Show Danny Jacobs that you do have some boxing skills. Because Canelo got an effective jab, man. A lot of people be sleeping on that. Go watch that Mayweather fight, man. He was landing some fucking jabs on Mayweather. That boy can jab. So establish your jab, do some good body work, you know what I'm saying? And then just continue to show your ring generalship. I feel that if Canelo does that, he will win the fight. But with the Triple G and Andrade, I feel that Triple G just needs to overwhelm Andrade with his power. Do what you do best, man. Because with Triple G, there's no special effects up and down with that cat. So just do what you do best, man. And what you do best is your power. Start landing them power shots so that Andrade's confidence can wane. And if I'm Andrade, man, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to do what I do best. I'm very skillful. I'm very awkward. You know what I'm saying? I throw punches in so many different ways. That's what he needs to do. Y'all let me know, man. I had to do a combination video. The next time I'm going to do a split video talking about these different fighters and their fights coming up. But I had to do a combination video because I felt like a lot of shit went on between Triple G and Canelo. And I felt that it needed to be combined so that we could talk about how we got to where we're at right now. This is He Knows His Sport. Checking out.